Good morning. Welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life. This is Glenn back at you on Friday morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Hoping everybody's going to have a healthy and prosperous day. Just figured I'd just chime in and just put in a word or two for the day. So we have a new pope. Billions of people across this world, this land, who are devout Catholics. I'm sure you must be rejoicing today. It didn't take long to find the successor. Rest in peace, Pope John Paul, Pope Francis. I botched his name up. I apologize. You served well in your time in that post. So now we have a new one. Prevost is his name. He was actually an American Pope. I think some people are alarmed by it. He was chosen, so those of you who follow, deal with it and just act accordingly. Change happens all the time. Sometimes it happens when we least expect it. Popes, this will be my third or fourth pope that I've been alive for, maybe fourth or fifth. And I think this guy's from the United States, from Chicago, I believe. And I think he's about 69 years old. Very experienced, and I think I'm sure he'll do well as who will be newly installed. We're still dealing with the craziness that is our President of the United States, who just seems to be so disillusioned and confused, and I'm wondering if they're going to get to a point where they're actually going to finally see that he's not fit for the position. His cognizant skills aren't as good as they need to be from what I'm being told and what I hear on television. That he seems to be deteriorating. Whether they do anything about it, I don't know. We'll see what happens. You sit here and you listen to all these pundits going back and forth at each other on these daily issues. You have the Republicans who tend to want to punch down on everybody. They never really make an effort to try to work with people. You have the Democrats who are trying to flex a little muscle. They're trying to be more active and on the offensive. They're still going out doing town halls, getting the American people, getting answers for the American people, mainly on the Republican side, because their constituents are in need of facts. They're in need of leaders in their respective states who are in Congress to step up, and they're not. So you got Democratic leaders going in their stead and meeting with these Republican constituents and doing the best they can to answer the questions that the Republicans won't answer. What I will say to the Republican voters, please remember these moments, because election time is coming to vote some of these people out. As I said on yesterday's episode, I believe it was yesterday's episode, I am really going to look at, changing the party that I vote out of to independent from Democratic. It gives me more room to make a choice that's good for me and my family. I know my immediate family, my biological family, will probably freak out hearing this, but it doesn't mean I'm going to vote Democrat. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to vote Republican. The way the Republican Party is now, I would never vote for them. So that's not even a concern. But I want to be able to vote along the lines I need to vote. If someone's on my walking on my street with their issues that's in their agenda, and they're the same as what I would like to see, they will get my attention. They will possibly get my vote. But I'm not going to sacrifice my party and my vote to vote for someone who really doesn't have a chance on winning. But I'm not a Republican, so chances that I vote Republican are almost 0%. I don't see myself doing that. I just hate that our country is in limbo because we have a feckless president who is lawless and clueless at the same time. And then he's built a party, he's built a cabinet and an administration based on wealth and loyalty. All of his people in his cabinet are either multi-millionaires or billionaires. So they don't have a clue of what it's like to struggle. They don't have a clue of what it's like to just be living paycheck to paycheck. And you have people who are in those positions who are going to base all of their time in those positions on an ideology that doesn't benefit the poor and the middle class. So we're the ones that are probably most likely suffer the most out of this. So my thing is, you get people who will argue that the Democrats will give you the same song and dance from the same playbook, but don't really provide any change. And that's basically coming from the young people, and it frustrates the hell out of me that sometimes you take your eye off the analogs and the analysis and analytics and look at right and wrong. You look at the people who are running. Sometimes you can just do an eye test and know this person is just not right for the post. And that's how I felt about Trump. We saw his story before. As I keep saying, I just can't believe that he was elected back in. So this time around, he got an opportunity to get in. He started working immediately, dismantling everything that the previous administration did. Make it make sense. You had the strongest economy in the world. The stock market was as healthy as as it has ever been. The relationships with our allies was as good as it's always been, especially Mexico and Canada. The country was productive. Then, you get the Republican constituents buying into the hype that is Fox News and listening to these sound bites and talking points from these Republican counterparts. Mind you, Trump said when he was coming in, he was going to be major on immigration, deportation, and who he was going to send away. They were being disingenuous the whole time because he did do some of the things he said he was going to do, but he took it too far. And I said that to say, all of you who voted for him, some blacks, which I still don't understand why, because we're the number one group that he hates, Hispanics, and any Latinos or Latinas, he can't stand you because a lot of these Mexicans that he's trying to say are coming through the southern border are criminals and racists and everything. Criminals and rapists and everything else. That's really a lie because the Latino and Hispanic race, they really commit the least amount of crimes in this country. Then you have him talking about how white women, women in general, rather, kill Roe versus Wade. You don't have a right to a legal abortion. You got men making decisions for women's health, which is wrong all by itself. He told you these are the things. He was gonna cut abortion. He's gonna He's gonna kill abortions. He was gonna deport a lot of people. Now, for you people who voted for him, you knew he was gonna do these things, and you still voted for him. Well, now he's here, and we got to put up with this shit for 4 years. And I shudder to ask, what more damage can he do, considering he done wrecked this damn economy in record time. He's destroyed alliances that took 60 or 70 years to build, maybe 80. It's always been true. Anything that man touches, Trump, it gets destroyed. He's giving you a one-on-one class on how to destroy an economy, how to wreck relationships, how to make your allies begin to hate you and put you on an island all by yourself as a country. The tariffs. Oh boy, the tariffs. If he reinstitutionalizes all of those tariffs, it's going to take a good month for the American people to start to feel the pain. The store shelves will start to become empty because you can't get any supply in. Got a lot of food that's gonna just go to waste on those barges. He just does not care. And white women and Hispanic men and women, you all caused Harris to lose. Thus, opening the door for this feckless president to just wreak havoc. And now we're going to have to depend on a judge, or judges for that matter, who either either appointed, or they're stacked so much so on the Republican side, like in the Supreme Court, that 9 times out of 10, the Supreme Court will rule in Trump's favor. I'm still trying to understand what you guys were thinking and why you're doing what you did. Because the American people are going to suffer. We haven't even gotten all the way into it yet. Well, I'm just curious to see how bad it can get. And we're about to find out. I think that's all I have. If you like the content, I would just ask that you like the video. Subscribe to my channel, and once you've subscribed, click the notification bell to all, so that you can get all notifications as they come across. All I want to do is honest content. I'm not into really bashing people. It depends on the topic and the situation. And I just want to do my part in getting the information out there. Because local media, legacy media, they're just not doing the job anymore. And I think that's why you have this huge push of all of these content creators just hitting the airwaves and doing a damn good job. I mean, you got people like the Midas Touch, you got Adam Mockler, you got Couch Politics, Tabitha Speaks, there are a few others that I can't remember all of the names, but you know who you are. It's just best to do that. It's best to just go on YouTube and listen to these content creators. And you'll get the news that legacy news is not even doing stories on. By the time you get the story, it's already 2 or 3 days later. So I also want to be one of those people who are helping push that narrative of getting the news out early, just meeting people where you're at, and allowing you to even comment if you want to. If what I've said today or any of my past videos just leave a comment, and sometimes we can actually have a back and forth. But again, that's all I have. You guys have a great, wonderful day. Well, it's starting to rain here. I'm not sure what the weather report is. Is it an all-day rain? But we'll see. We need the rain anyway up here in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic states. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll talk soon.